This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on Unit Cabinet decisions. The participants are K.S. Sachidanand Murthy, political analyst, and Ruchika Chitravanshi, journalist.
The Union Cabinet today has taken some important decisions. Now, while it has approved 3 memorandums of understandings with Japan for textile, with Finland for mining, and with Denmark for new and renewable energy, one interesting decision that has been taken is regarding the mission Karmayogi, which is basically a skill-building program for civil servants. Mr. Murthy, I would like to first ask you about how do you see this cabinet decision of the mission Karmayogi? How will it help in capacity building and training of our civil servants?
This has been a work in progress because the Prime Minister has been talking about how the bureaucracy has to become central to the government's mission of minimum government and maximum governance. So that's what he has always been saying, that even when he visited the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy in Mussoorie, which trains IAS officers, he had been saying that we need to make the role of the government employee, government servant, from the secretary to the lowest level to be people-centric, citizen-centric. So this Karmayogi mission is a major step in that direction, which because there have been already many initiatives taken by the government in the past 6 years, where the governance processes have been simplified and speed of delivery has been done much more speeded up and all that. So this is another major step where the skill development of the government employees, because though we had an overall national skill development mission which had been adopted 5 years ago, but the skill development of government employees, where there is not rule but role, that is the distinction. Even though it's just a change of one letter, but then instead of just sticking to rules and all that, what is the role of service to the citizens, how to make governance simpler? This has been the mission. That's why Karmayogi mission has been brought. This is the perspective with which Cabinet has decided on this very far-reaching reform in civil service and governance.
So will this training be made available for existing bureaucrats, or will it only be for those who will be clearing the UPSC exam and then going in for their training? How will it be implemented?
Implementation is, already there's been one experiment done as a sort of post become more focused, ability to deliver the responsibilities, their roles, and then to reach out to more and more people. That has already been done. So now, this as a first step, Karmayogi mission looks at equipping every government employee of the government of India, whether it is in the civil service or various other services of the government of India.
So mid-career bureaucrats will also benefit from this mission Karmayogi. Let us talk about some of the other decisions that have been taken today. One of them is about the Memorandum of Understanding that has been signed between India and Japan for cooperation in the field of good quality textiles. And this will include technical textiles and any other mutually agreed upon domestic and overseas client buyers, the products they may like to trade in. How do you think this is during the COVID pandemic?
If you recollect, during the budget this year, the finance minister had said that we are going to make a very strong emphasis on technical textiles, which we are in a large quantity importing from other countries. The finance minister had announced a mission for which development of this sector, and so that is where, because Japan is one of the leaders in this industry, and the government wanted to go for that. So this is a very important step in that direction.
What about other countries that are around us and we export to them? Because Japan, for instance, right now, of all the imports it does, share of India is not that high. So do you think that will also get affected because of this decision?
Yeah, because, Japan is one of the most quality conscious importers in the world. Whatever goods they import, because of the rigorous their own industrial standards and also consumer standards, they expect very high quality of goods which are imported into Japan. So that's why when we have this memorandum of understanding on quality of textiles, that means our own textile units will be able to enhance their quality capacity and thereby export the vast market not only in Japan but in different countries of the world. So that's why this agreement is very important in fulfilling this mission which was announced in the budget, because a huge investment is being made over the next 5 years to make India one of the leading exporters of this very, very specialized category of textile.
Do you also see an opportunity for India to sort of meet the standards of Japan in terms of, let's say, technical textile?
India has the largest number of textile workers and textile units in the world, and ever since the 1980s, India has been one of the largest exporters, but we were more in terms of quantity rather than in terms of quality. So now skill development of our textile workers who are ranging from power loom to the hand loom, this agreement will help the skill development capacities of our millions of our textile workers.
And why Japan?
That's what, as I said, Japan has the highest quality demands among the importing countries. Next, of course, US and Europe also are very high in there. But then with Japan, we have a long-term relationship in areas of high-quality engineering and other high-tech areas. So that's why this, since there's already a foundation of that, this will be very helpful for us. Japanese experts can come here, teach our people, and also our motivators and trainers can go to Japan and get their skills enhanced.
And does it open other doors also for India beyond Japan that we'd be able to use the expertise?
Yes, because the world's COVID pandemic, the world's demand for PPE suits and other technical textiles has gone up very much, not only for use in hospitals, in public areas, but also in industries and other places which require a special kind of clothing and other equipment, which are made out of special fibers and clothes.
One other MOU that has been signed today and that Cabinet has approved today is that between India and Finland for cooperation in the field of geology and mineral resources. Now, obviously, this will facilitate cooperation in these fields and analysis, 3-4D modeling, seismic, and other geophysical surveys. How do you see this MOU panning out and benefiting India? What is it for us to gain?
Yeah, because what has happened is in the areas of mining now, we have decided as part of the stimulus package of 20 lakh crores announced by the finance minister to meet the hardships caused by the pandemic, mining sector has been open to private and foreign sectors for investment. So now also the other major area of concern in mining is that we have to preserve the environment with the least damage to the environment. Mining activity has to be increased and the amount of minerals taken out of earth is increased. So that is where we have to go for modern technology. And as you know, Finland is one of the leaders in technology on mining, on solar energy and several areas of cutting edge technology. That's why the government has negotiated this MOU with Finland, and our mining industry, both in the public and private sectors, will largely benefit from this.
What are the areas in which we will be able to improve upon because access to what Finland knows and their knowledge about this area?
The major areas are in terms of extraction of minerals from hilly areas, because Finland is a hilly and forest country. There they have developed new technologies where there's a minimum damage to the environment while minerals are extracted from hilly and forest areas. So this will be very useful in central Indian states where in thick forest areas or on the edges of thick forest areas mining will have to be done. And also in terms of discovery of mineral deposits and exploration, this 3D and other technologies which have been developed in Finland will be very useful for us.
Besides the environment, and obviously you talked about the higher altitude areas, etc., What are the other area of technical advancements that India should now look into through this MOU?
The one other area where our ministry has been discussing with industry and with other exports is that we still export a lot of raw minerals. In terms of refining and quality enhancement of mineral products, we are still not 100% self-sufficient. Again, another area where Finland is one of the large exporters of finished metal products. So Finland's expertise in this area will be helpful for us.
There is also an MOU that has been signed with Denmark for new and renewable energy. What does that entail?
Actually, this is something which is part of the larger network of MOUs we are having with different countries around the world as part of the Prime Minister's mission for reducing the dependence on fossil fuels and go more for renewable energy, including solar and wind energy. And so the agreement with Denmark adds one more country to the chain of MOUs we are having, so that it will be part of our efforts like the International Solar Alliance and the wind energy initiative in which India is taking a strong lead. Already we have signed such MOUs with a large number of countries in different continents.
What do you think of these MOUs? There are 3 MOUs we have signed today. How do you measure the success of any MOU, and what are the results that they bear in your experience?
MOUs are normally only the declaration of intention. Now, the MOUs will have to be converted into active partnership. That is where the government in the recent years has been emphasizing. The Prime Minister's office has a team which monitors the conversion of MOUs into working projects and agreements and also to mutual cooperation. So I think that's why, because earlier it used to be said that MOUs are signed, their only intention, but only a small percentage gets converted into positive action. But now in recent years, both the Prime Minister's office and the External Affairs Ministry have been emphasizing that much homework should be done before an MOU is signed so that the implementation becomes quicker and complete. So I expect these 3 MOUs also to be pursued strongly by the ministries of textile, mining and renewable energy ministries.
So what is the action that we can expect in all these 3 different areas following the MOU?
Normally the procedure in Government of India is once an MOU is signed with a country, administrative ministry in consultation with the External Affairs Ministry, the Finance Ministry and the Indian Embassy in that country sets up a task force. So there will be then similarly the country which signs the MOU with India, also their task force, and these task force meet at fixed intervals to work out the details of the implementation of the MOUs at different points. So this is where the work has to be expedited by the administrative ministries and actively using, as you know, in the last 3 years, the Prime Minister has emphasized that the Indian embassies have to redefine their role as the economic arms of the country. They have to ensure that strong economic diplomacy is done by them to implement agreements and get the maximum economic benefit to the country. And that's why more and more experts and diplomats are being added to several of the embassies of India in these countries.
So very important decisions taken there in the cabinet today, which put us in a very positive direction, whether it is the training of civil servants and whether it is all these MOUs that India has signed. Obviously, this is a declaration of intention, as you've said, and a lot more action will follow in all of these spaces. Thank you so much, Mr. Murthy, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to a discussion on Union Cabinet decisions. The participants were K.S. Sachidanand Murthy, political analyst, and Ruchika Chitravanshi, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our website newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsttalks@gmail.com.